Good morning, everyone. I'm making a breakfast sandwich for my husband, and then I'll proceed to another bread. Okay, so I'm gonna make sourdough ciabatta bread, but I already weighed the water and the salt, and now I'm getting into the sourdough starter. Look at that, it's all bubbly and active. I just fed it like this morning at 8 a.m. and it didn't take long. It took about 3 to 4 hours to get it that high. That is the norm if your sourdough is mature and super active. In other words, it is at its peak. So you want to start baking when it's that high. So now I'm going to weigh my 100 grams of sourdough starter, and I'm going to clock out my scale so that it's to 0 and then weigh to 100 grams. I think that's a little over 100. Okay, it's like 103, but that's okay. Let's just go with it. I'm going to stir it a little bit, and I'm going to add the bread flour. Mix it all up and get all of the dry flour in as much as possible. Or you could use a dough scraper and scrape the sides off evenly. Cover with a towel and let it sit for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, I'm going to do the first stretch and fold. So I learned that with sourdough bread, you don't normally knead the dough like a commercial, yeast dough. So this is what you do to activate the gluten and let it work. I know at first it really didn't make sense to me, but you read about it, watch so much videos, a lot of videos, and then put it to work, and then you kind of understand it a bit. Now cover and let it sit for 30 minutes. This will be the second stretch and fold, but the last two I will switch to coil folds, but it's up to you. You could do stretch and fold, and that's okay too. I'm still learning about the coil folds. I'm serious. It's just like it doesn't really look like anything like how other people do it, but anyways, I'm still working on it. So yeah. I keep my hands a little bit wet so that it'd be easier to handle the wet dough, but you just work along with it. I know I look a little bit tense, and with the cut finger, it is still hard to kind of handle the dough. But I'm determined with the sourdough ciabatta thing. Next is the bulk fermentation. I will transfer the dough to another vessel, and I will bulk ferment this for 4 to 6 hours, and it depends on the temperature in your kitchen and around you. So yeah, so I'll leave it on the counter for 4 to 6 hours. And then it's time to make dinner, and here I'm rubbing the chicken. I spatchcock it, and so I am rubbing it with butter mixed with dark soy sauce and other spices as well. And here is the result. Oh, it smells so good. And I did roast some vegetables as well, vegetables that needs to be eaten, and some potatoes and gravy. This is homemade gravy. I love it. Another good and wholesome dinner. Here's the dough after 6 hours on the counter that's bulk fermented, and I'm gonna put this in the fridge for 12 to 14 hours. With the lid snapped on, of course, and I'll see you in the morning. Good night, folks. Good morning. I hope you all had a good night's sleep. Get this ciabatta bread going. I got a pan and parchment paper ready and floured my counter, and then I will bring out my dough from the fridge that was fermented overnight for 14 hours, and look at this bubbly stuff going on here. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna generously flour the dough, top of the dough, and then I'm gonna take it out on the floured surface and work this dough into the buns it needs to be for my hamburgers for lunch this afternoon. So yeah, I am so excited. Okay, now I'm just gonna pat the dough to a rectangular shape, and then I think I'm gonna flour it again. Yes, flour it again, and then I will use the bench press and cut the dough in half in a oblong shape and stretch it a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I gotta be careful. I get too excited, you know, and then I overstretch it for some reason. So, and then cut it in thirds. Yeah, so, and then you make it into 8 buns. There you go. Then you're gonna take each cutted buns and stretch it a little bit. That didn't look a little bit, but anywho, just stretch it a bit. And after all the stretching of each one, cover it with a towel and leave it for an hour. These ciabatta bread hamburgers are inspired by my little sister years ago. These are all the works here, and yeah, I got some sweet potato fries from Trader Joe's, and then we're gonna fry them up in the oven and yeah, assemble all that. I am so ready to eat and just ready to dig in these burgers. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you later. Bye.